I've finally done it! I have discovered the world's most cursed operating system. It's more cursed than React OS, it's more cursed than Hannah Montana Linux. And today we're gonna try to install it on real hardware. This is gonna get weird, so stay tuned. And if you enjoy making old computers do unusual things, I hope you'll consider subscribing to the channel. So this is the project's GitHub page, and there's a lot of interesting clues here as to what's going on. First of all, here we have Claude as a contributor. Interesting. Quite a lot of languages the README has been translated to, and a bunch of pictures of what at first glance appears to be macOS 7.1, but it's a little weird. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. We actually can't start from the GitHub page. We have to start from a scientific paper. Because what has actually been done here is they have reverse engineered macOS 7.1 clean room style, similar to the philosophy of React OS. Essentially what they've done is they've taken a bunch of classic Macintosh applications without an operating system, and they inspected them with a tool called Ghidra, which is generally used for malware analysis. They mapped out all the calls that software was trying to make, and then they just told AI to fill in the blanks. And what does that net? Well, that nets this. This is literally the AI sloperating system, because AI is filling in all of this stuff based off of its best guess as to what macOS 7.1 should normally do, and essentially it kind of works. So what I want to do here is download their release and see if we can boot it in an emulator and try to boot it on real hardware. But I think it would be pretty funny if I pointed my own instance of Claude at this repository and tried to get it to compile it, and maybe even port another application to this that AI had a hand in. So the release gives us a bootable ISO image in multiple different languages, so of course we'll pick English. And it also gives us the correct QEMU command to launch this, although I think we need to take off the SDL stuff since we are on a Mac. All right, let's see if we can launch this in QEMU. We don't have SDL here, and we need to change this to EN. Will this just work? Oh my God, what in the world? Look at this. It's a little grumpy, but it is running in QEMU. I think it might be this grumpy because we're on Mac and this would prefer to be on Linux. All right, well, I'm sold. Let's try to boot this on a real system. Right after this quick word about today's sponsor, Internext. Internext is a secure, private, and open source cloud storage for all of your files. And in fact, I have a few important files on Internext that we're gonna need today. I mean, I need to store and share tons of files all the time, from huge video files going to the wonderful Mr. Editor, or disk images, or source code to the artful type so that we can try to port it to a cursed version of macOS 7.1. But Internext isn't just data storage, it's data ownership. It's fast and encrypted off-site storage. It can be as simple as a well-crafted web interface that you upload your files to, which is how I use it, but it can be as advanced as you need with rclone, WebDAV, a CLI, setups compatible with your NAS. The Lifetime Ultimate plan includes 5 terabytes of encrypted cloud storage, and it's a one-time payment instead of a recurring subscription. The plan also comes with Internext's other privacy-first offerings, including a VPN, a cleaner, antivirus. They even have their own Meet. Keep your pictures stored privately, your documents undocumented, and your backups backed up privately. With Internext, use my link to get 85% off lifetime plans or 85% off the first month of a yearly plan. Thanks again, Internext, for sponsoring today's video. All right, we've got our usual first victim here, our NEC PowerMate 8100 Pentium 2 designed for Windows 98. But I like this because we can put one of these little adapters right on the top here and have easy access to our CF card, onto which I have burned our macOS 7.1. macOS 7.1. And yeah, I guess let's just see if this boots into anything. Oh, I should probably give this power first. Why do I always forget to power things? All right, it does see the CF card, so that's good. F1 to resume. No frickin' way. This abomination is booting. What on earth? Oh, well, that doesn't look right. Mouse does nothing. Well, I don't think the AI operating system is happy with the PowerMate. Well, the old Dell never let me down. All right, this Dell has a Pentium 3 in it. Let's see if you will boot. Boot. First boot device, yes. Seems fine. All right, well, second time's a charm, I guess. Oh my God, look at that. It said welcome to Mac. Oh, no frickin' way. Oh, it frickin' works here. No response from the mouse. Whoa. No, nothing from Caps Lock either. Oh, I think she froze. What a shock. Okay, so now I want to do something a little silly. Basically, I'm going to point Claude here in my own Visual Studio Code at the GitHub repository and see if it can just figure it out. Hopefully it's going to clone the repository, compile everything and make sure that we have everything we need to compile it, and then give me the ISO file. Yeah, it's checking what tools are available. Man, this agentic coding stuff is just absolutely wild. Yeah, it's downloading stuff through Homebrew. Found Grub. It found everything it needed in Homebrew. Oh yeah, look at that. We've already cloned the repository. Look at all of these translated README files. Realizatias yeah, look at that. It actually figured out a quirk for compiling this on macOS versus Linux and fixed it. That's absolutely wild. It is boot testing the built ISO in QEMU, and it seems to have worked. Look at that. We have a bootable ISO ready to go. All right, check this out. Could you boot that ISO in QEMU so I can try it out? Yeah, there it is launching it. Yeah, well, that's not quite right. No, it worked. This really does feel like the Star Trek computer style of interaction. Just ask the computer to do something, and the computer figures it out. It still seems a bit buggy. All right, now that Claude has a rather intimate knowledge of this project, I have a burning question I'd like to ask. Claude, now that you've compiled this, I have to know, is it really a clean room reverse engineered macOS 7.1, or is this something else? Well, he's really thinking about it. That's a lot of tokens, Claude. What are you doing? Yeah, look at that. Claude Opus 4.6. Commit cadence is superhuman. Interesting. So apparently it's accurate. They used AI, Claude, which is what we're using here, and publicly available information, including, I guess, Ghidra running against the classic Mac applications. And there's one other interesting feature that I don't think is implemented yet. Can this run 68K Mac applications? Because apparently there is an emulation backend or something in there that can at some point run vintage Macintosh applications, but I don't think it's wired up. Yeah, look at that, 68K interpreter.h, that's in there. Yeah, so according to what's actually in the code, there is the core 68,000 instruction set. It just isn't really connected. Oh yeah, look at this. The apps you actually can run Simple Text and Mac Paint are native C reimplementations that call the reimplemented toolbox directly. So those are actually x86 reimplementations of these vintage Mac apps. I wonder though, Claude, you and I recently built an app called the Artful Type that runs on a Mac Plus. It's in the parent directory of this one. Could we port that to this Mac OS 7.1? All right, it's gonna look for it. It found it. How long have I had these two hairs sticking up? All right, and we have our answer actually. We used Retro68 to build the Artful Type, which is a cross-compilation environment to compile for 68,000 CPUs on a modern machine. We can't do that here. Instead, Claude wants to natively port this to the new operating system, which essentially it is a brand new operating system, and I think I'm gonna let it try. So hopefully jump cut to this does whatever this does.
A few moments later.
Friends, it has done it. It compiled the Artful Type into the ISO, a native port that it just came up with, and we're going to try to boot it to see what happens. So we've got System 7.1 Artful. Oh my God, look at this. Where is it? Where is it? Applications, I guess. Oh man, you can do it. I can resize the window, but it doesn't like to move them. Oh my God, it's doing something. Yeah, this OS is legitimately so hard to use. I just cannot get it to open up the applications folder and not accidentally close it. Come on, enter. Space. Click. Oh. See? It came up, and now it crashed. Oh my god, look. There friggin' is. The artful type ported to, I guess you can call this an operating system. Something has gone horribly wrong. Alright, well, the artful type just crashes it. I guess let's try this on real hardware, right? Alright, here is our fresh ISO file that we just compiled, and by we, I mean Claude. Let's see if this will boot and give us a working cursor. Oh look, we've got this same goofy grub issue. But it does boot! Look at that! Yes! Mouse? Either one? No? Nope. Uh-oh. Don't break the mice, Sean. Alright, well, it does boot and gets into this frozen state, but it works! Alright, I've got our artful type image on here. Let's see if this will boot and run. Invalid boot diskette. Perfect. Oh wow, I really broke this thing. This whole pin got pushed all the way down. That's not gonna work again. Alright, why don't we try something a little more cursed? This is MSI's dual GPU laptop. Yeah, we're just gonna try to boot this off of USB. Well, it got to grub, but no further. Alright, perhaps ThinkPad X1 Carbon will boot fake macOS. Stop beeping at me. F12, 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 escape, F12. Oh my god, stop telling me things. Give me the boot menu. I have offended my X1 Carbon. Let's try that again. Enter. Escape. Oh, there we go. F12. Oh yeah, look at that. USB HDD. That's this guy. Yeah, boot that. All right, grub works. No frickin' way. It's booting fake macOS 7, and it froze in exactly the same way. Oh, this is pretty frickin' cursed. All right, perhaps this much more era-appropriate Sony Vaio. Hopefully it can boot from USB. I mean, it's Centrino, it should. It's booting from the hard drive. Nope, no USB boot for you. All right, perhaps this Dell will boot it. Judging from the black screen, I'm gonna say no. Okay, now if this works, it might well be the most cursed thing we've ever had on the channel, because this is my beloved 11-inch Intel MacBook Air. And if this can boot the cursed Intel version of macOS 7.1, well, I'm gonna explode. Ooh, it's booting into grub. So far, so good. Come on, just show me welcome to Macintosh. Yes, oh my god, it's so cursed. Oh, look at it. Oh, this is the worst. Oh, wow. I don't know what to think about this. I don't think it's getting past this screen, but that is pretty darn cursed. Alright, so that is the super cursed AI re-implementation of what Claude thinks that macOS 7.1 was. And I know it didn't work on a lot of my computers, and I think that's because it doesn't work very well. But the fact that it works at all is just absolutely insane. I mean, it boots on real hardware, and it was mostly AI's hallucination of macOS 7.1. So I'll of course link everything down below in case you, for some reason, want to try this cursed thing for yourself. But that'll do it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, I'd appreciate a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more, well, maybe not stuff this weird, please subscribe down below, and thank you very much for watching. And I just want to give a very special thank you to all of my Patreon supporters and channel members. Thank you so much, each and every one of you, for supporting me and supporting this channel and all the weird stuff I do. I am so very grateful, and I just could not do this without you.